One of the things I created for that was that conversation I had with Astrid. It was the memory of her calling and me sitting in the car with her and kind of feeling, you know how sometimes you can have that when you feel guilty? It's almost like a projection thing. So I was kind of projecting. I was saying to her, I don't know, I'm just worried. I think that maybe Maeve's developing feelings, and I don't know if this is going to work. You know, I probably need to call things off, and yeah, I'm just not quite sure how I'm going to go about that. And then Astrid said, well, what do you mean? How would she have developed feelings? It's only been 2 weeks. What are you talking about?
I thought that tonight was your night to call Astrid.
It was.
And then she's like, has it? And then that's when I, confessed, no, actually, it's been longer. I don't know why I didn't tell you. Then it was that feeling of, oh God, like there's some, how something doesn't feel real often until you speak it, until you tell the truth, until you vocalize it. And so I think in confessing that and having that conversation with Astrid, gosh, it's so funny. As I talk about it, I start to feel it again. I'm starting to get the nervy feeling of being in that perspective. It starts to feel real, and it was just like that. Oh my God, what am I doing? I have to be honest. I have to be honest with Maeve. I have to be honest with myself. I have to be honest with Astrid. And it was just sort of this like snowball, like all of the locking up that I'd been doing as Crane was just breaking open, right? So that's the showing up at Maeve's place and running in the rain from the car to her apartment. And then, of course, this is what I was doing. Psyching myself in, before the take. So that I was really in that place, all the things that are underneath what's being said. It was so deep for you and it seems to work. Yeah, well, this is the thing. This is the work for all the lives, for all the roles, guys. Someone before was talking about Crackhead as well. That was also quite a challenge because we shot that over 2 months. But we block shot that, so, which is unusual to shoot 8 episodes at a time of something. Often in a dramedy like that, you would shoot maybe 2 or 3 episodes a block and then move on, and then 2 or 3 episodes. But this was all 8. I actually only shot for 9 days. 9 days at the beginning of the shoot and kind of at the end of the shoot. A lot of See to Believe research with that, a lot of interviews, a lot of imagined memories, a lot of creation. Yeah, 9 days for me, just for my stuff. And then also a lot of mapping. Again, very big kind of story arcs, but only a small amount of time, screen time for the audience to see that. It's about really kind of crafting from the outside what is going on here, what's important to be told here in the story. And then from that understanding, then from the inside, tuning myself into that and doing the work that I do to then be able to just experience it and live it on the day, But actually, you guys asked before about how do I let that stuff go? How do I let it go? Well, it lives in this different plane, right? And so funnily enough, when I watch it, definitely with Crackhead, oh my gosh, I was just a hot mess. It's like it took me right back. So I was watching it almost from Emma's perspective. Again, now thinking about it, I start to feel some type of way. I did have a chemistry test with Jess. Yes, and I do get nervous. And that is why I've created The Practice by Nolan. I would love to do a Step Dave spin-off. That would be very cool. Hey, I'd love to do a Crane spin-off. I love so much that Crane was a gift for you guys because Crane was also a gift for me. I mean, honestly, such a wonderful challenge and so fun. A lot of work, but, felt it. How do you tell an actor has potential? Really, I can teach most people as long as there is that ability to comprehend what I'm talking about and apply what I'm asking you to apply. If someone's coming in at quite an entry level, look, it's just going to take longer. An intensive is going to be the foundation for you, and that's when ongoing class would come in. There's a reason why I talk about this stuff with such certainty and kind of, fervor, is because it works, because I see it, because I see the transformations in the actors that I work with. And that's that proof in the pudding. You can't really deny that. And also I experience it myself, and that's the cool thing as an actor and a coach. It's like, I'm figuring this stuff out, I'm doing it. And then I'm teaching it, and then I'm learning through the teaching, and I'm learning through the doing, and I'm often having little iOS updates. Sometimes it will be through the coaching in class. I'll have breakthroughs or realize certain things, and then sometimes it's on set. Obviously, a proud coaching moment, come on now, would be Cooper Koch. I mean, I also have proud moments where I see people's amazing growth in class. That's incredibly fulfilling for me. But obviously, for those of you who are not aware, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, Monsters, Cooper was nominated, totally was robbed of the win, absolutely deserved the win. I mean, of course, I'm a little bit biased, but he absolutely deserved the win for an Emmy and a Golden Globe for his work in that. And I worked extensively with him on the show, and all via Zoom. For those of you who are a bit scared about Zoom, as you can kind of feel, and it's even better when the other person's talking back, I just can't touch you. That's the only thing. Everything else is the same. You know what I mean? We're here in this space together. To work so closely with him on that, and then to see him just take everything, you know, we did and just lift it and shine. Oh gosh, I remember sitting down watching the first episode, and we'd done a lot of work on kind of each of those scenes, conversations, just seeing him live that so authentically and so deeply. I was like, just, you know, shaking in like happiness. And then of course watching episode 5, the famous, 35-minute one take, where there are no camera tricks, it's one take. In awe, so proud. That was a big win. Okay, I'm very bad at doing short stories, guys. Okay. Next time, sing some blues like Alyssa. Yeah, that was fun. I did love that. I would like to sing more for sure. I do get a bit nervy, but that would be a bit of a dream. Like doing a Moulin Rouge type vibes. I would like that. How do I deal with overthinking before filming? Well, overthinking is when the actor is trying to control the situation. So there was another question there too about what do you do if you're in your head too much? Well, that's a great thing. You need to be in your head. You guys are in your heads right now. You are processing what I'm saying and you're taking it personally, and that exists in your brain. And then, obviously there's other things in your body going on, but if your brain isn't working, you're brain dead, and you're on life support type vibes, right? Same thing as an actor. You absolutely have to be in your head. It's just, where is your focus? Where is your focus? The overthinking will come when an actor is there trying to control the outcome of something, rather than focusing in on what's going on for me inside this imagined world. What do I want from this person? What am I trying to get them to understand? And then being open to the unknown of that. Acting isn't a self-propelled experience. Not when it's done right. You know what I mean? It's an experience here. And I will be affected by what that other person does and says. And this is why I've also developed the imprint method, so that you're learning it in a way that actually serves you, rather than having to fight it and pretend that I don't know what's coming up when I really do. Learning it in a way that I don't know until the next thing happens. Then I can just be in flow rather than fighting it. My favorite funny scene? I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite funny one. I did love Speak Louder. My lip reading isn't up to its usual standards. I mean, I was very lucky to get some cool one-liners, guys, wasn't I? Full of positive energy when I talk about it. Yeah, because this is the shit that lights me up. I love doing it, and I love helping other people do it. That's the other thing. For those of you who are interested in doing this work, if you want a coach who really actually wants to help you and believes in you, as you can probably feel, that's me. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but when I found acting, I was too scared to really pursue it much in school. I didn't do any school plays or anything because I was like scared. My brain cannot comprehend you being this bubbly. I know, well, there you go. That's because I tuned myself into Crane. Yeah, my coffee is ice cold, but I don't mind at this point. Lukewarm. Stovetop espresso, guys. Bialetti, anyone? Any Italians in the house? Oh shit, it's happened again. What was I saying? Oh dear Lord. I've totally blanked. No, what's my favorite? Crave edit. Oh, I don't know, lots of good ones. I do love them, guys. Well done. I don't know if I have I'm about to tip my coffee over. Holy. Discovering acting at 18. Thank you, Steph. Thank you. I tell you what, guys, I went through a period probably from about 15 to probably about 21, to be honest. But definitely 15 to 18 where I was quite lost. And long story short, deciding to focus in on acting and go to Hagley Theatre Company. This was in Christchurch. Not Hagley Theatre School, it's different management now. Honestly, after that audition weekend, I remember walking down the street and I just had this big grin on my face and I was like, oh my gosh, if I get in, this is the thing I'm supposed to do, And, oh gosh, it gets me a little bit emotional thinking about it now. Crybaby. Toenails. Okay, guys, if you're starting to feel emotional and you don't want to feel emotional because, you're doing a live Instagram, think toenails. Try it. Honestly, hand on, it works. If you don't want to feel emotional, just think toenails, 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 and you will stop feeling the emotion. It's a handy one. I wish I had the alternate was like think one thought over and over and you're going to feel emotion and you're going to feel emotional, not quite the same. Anywho, with finding that and feeling that joy, it was just like, I can't quite describe it, but I just knew. I just had this knowing. This is the thing I really want to do. And I want to get good at it. Toenails. I don't know about just thinking one toenail. Toenails, because you got a few of them. And really, at that point, I wasn't even thinking about having a career in it at 18. I want to get good at this thing. This is something I actually want to spend my time in and I want to do it. And then it kind of unfolded. I then went to the National Drama School. And then my first year out, I was lucky enough to book a series. And then once that happened, I got the bug. Even though there was plenty of time within, there were lots of lulls, lots of downtime, lots of ebbs and flows. Lots of humble pie. Holy shit. Humble pie galore. I had the bug and I kind of knew. I was like, no, I know I can do this thing. I just got to keep trucking along. Don't lose the hope. Keep controlling the controllables. If this is the career you want, you just have to understand that there's so little that is certain in it. And there's a beauty in that. I mean, the thing is, what we often forget is that we could die tomorrow, so really nothing's certain. In a way, certainty is an illusion. You know what I mean? So, and for me, I've always felt like I'm either going to do the thing, or I'm going to die trying, Guys, why am I getting emotional? I think it's because I'm thinking of my mum. There was a question about my angel cards. I don't know if you're here, the person who asked the question, but let me find it. I saw on TikTok that you have Archangel Oracle cards. There we go. I would like to ask, how and when did you start card reading and how often do you do it these days? These are my mum's cards. I'm going to have to think toenails again. Toenails. Crikey. I thought I could get through it. I'm going to just do this for a little moment. I should have known better than to talk about this. My darling mum passed. just gonna do a little. In 2012. Isn't that crazy? Gosh, I really thought that I'd get through it without getting sad. I'm just going to do this again. Just cry. I know. But that's the thing. Human beings, when we get emotional, so often, we don't want to cry. That's the thing to remember too, actors. When crying is scripted, the human being doesn't want to cry. Remember that. So if you are there trying to cry, okay? It's about activating that, the truth of what's going on for you, and then and the physical activation helps too, and then really working your best to not cry. That's what humans have inbuilt bullshit detectors, right? Audiences too. Audiences subconsciously respond to truth. We sense it. That's why sometimes you watch something and you're like, take it or leave it. I don't know, it's fine, but I've not really moved. That's because your bullshit detector's going off. So same thing, right? Human beings, when they feel emotional, they tend to, unless, every now and then, there's always an exception to the rule. but especially in public and especially in conversation with others, we tend to not want to go to that place. It's all, social conditioning and all the rest of it, but we tend to not want to. So yes, remember that for when you see the description, and she cries, Try not to. Anyway, I teach the whole process. You want to learn how to do it, I'm your guy. There we go. We've talked about other things, and now I can talk more about mum. So that's good. These are mum's cards. So when mum passed, this is one of the things I took. Here's a lovely little note from mum. Lovely little note here. So we make sure that we ask for it to be true and divine guidance, and to bless everyone involved, and to be in the light and whatnot. Mum would ask for a sign, to stop shuffling, but for me, for whatever reason, I will ask, allow the cards to fall from the pack. Can you please give me a message about this? And insert question here. So yeah, that's and look, I go in ebbs and flows of when I use those. Sometimes they're incredibly accurate, I feel, and sometimes they're not. I did ask them a bit about Crane at times, when I was auditioning and all that stuff. Sometimes I get the yes, absolutely, and then it happens, and then sometimes I get the yes, and it doesn't happen, and I don't get it. So, look, it's a big part of it is kind of feeling close to mum, when I do it.